Give me a second. I will start this. It always takes me forever to figure out how YouTube works. Okay, now I can get to YouTube. And I'll create this. And go live. Going live shortly. What's the date today? Today is... I can delete this one, I think. How do I delete this video? Oh no, that's the one I actually wanted. This one is just going live. Oh, okay. I see how this works. I accidentally created 2 live streams. Let me delete the other one. My bad. Yeah. Get out of here. Okay, and I can go back. We're live. Edit this video. We're live. February 26th. Edit this video. We're live. February 26th. Edit this video. We're live. February 26th. Edit this video. We're live. Wow, I just hear myself twice. Sorry, I gotta get the stream stopped. All right. Going live for everyone right now. What's up? Podcast accidentally ended. One sec, I just gotta make sure that we are still streaming. Some of these software are not ideal. Okay, looks like it's still on. That's kind of nice. Okay, what about YouTube? Is that still on? It should be on. Okay, what about YouTube? Is that still on? All right, perfect. Welcome. It's the 26th. It's a Thursday. This should be a fun event, fun day. I was just walking through this chart with Danny. And, we do have a couple of imbalances here that are looking pretty good. I got to mute someone. Give me a sec. Great. Okay. So this is what I'm seeing here. We have an imbalance above that has been filled. We're rejecting off that 50% zone on that imbalance. Doesn't mean we got to buy puts. I do think we are going to go do something like this, test the middle of this imbalance, and then bounce exactly from there. So I'd rather play the reversal. We can probably scalp a couple of puts in the morning or at open. I don't want to do that personally. I'd rather just get the right risk and reward and find an entry here if we undercut and go up. That'd be ideal. But I do think this is your ideal entry, or at least one of the ideal entries at the 692.50 area to get calls. We could also just sweep up and just do this where like it consolidates here for the first 5-10 minutes and then goes up towards the higher side. So you can do what you want and what you're comfortable with. What I'm going to do personally is get 695 calls right at open and average into them if we tap this area. But I want to see the first 5 minutes before I do anything, because that helps understand, or helps us understand what we're going to get and what's more likely. Do we sweep down towards the lower levels so we can get cheaper calls? Or do we close above this imbalance and then we already have a starter position that's green, right? So that's how I've been thinking about this. And I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Which is insane because I've made this mistake like 20 times now. All right, we're going to do this again. We're rejecting on this imbalance here on the 15 minutes. If I look at the 15-minute here, we're rejecting exactly where that 50% is. And we have an imbalance below that has been rejecting, that's been acting as support so far, right? So we fill this imbalance, and by we, I mean market makers. And Big Z's audio is messed up again. I can't help you there, buddy. So this might act as a support or a magnet. If we come down here, I'm going to add to these calls, but in the first 5 minutes, I just want to see what we get. I'm going to create a starter for 695 calls for this morning, and I'm going to add them here if we get that, but I want to see what the first 5 minutes do. Because if we sweep above and then keep closing above, at least have a starter there that's green. And if we're able to come down here, I can add, this would be our ideal entry to get those calls. And you can even get them closer to the money, like 694, 693, whatever you're comfortable with. And today, because I've been able to go, from $100 to about $2,000 in three days at this point in time, I want to risk about $800 today just to see what happens. And even if I lose it, I'm still green on the original capital that I put in. but I would highly recommend you don't oversize. We kind of made that mistake before yesterday. And by we, I mean, I think a lot of you did, where I said it on the call in the morning. I'm like, don't oversize, because we've had a couple of days that have been, 100% plays consistently. It's totally fine if you disregard that warning and oversized. I'm looking at Chueg, who got 6 contracts for no reason. But we ended up scaling out of the calls at the end of the day. It took forever. It was a tough hold, don't get me wrong. But because we weren't closing below 690, I didn't want to hold those puts that we were originally getting yesterday, right? And so we cut them for a 20% loss. That happens. We're going to lose sometimes. Totally fine. But we still have a 90% win rate here. So I cut those calls right there, and they actually came back. I cut those puts at some of these bars because they came back to break even. And I was like, okay, I'm happy with even like a 1%, 2% loss there. And I ended up cutting all the puts that I had basically at break even. I think I lost a total of $4 yesterday. And then I got calls, and so I was averaging into those 694 Cs, I believe, or 695 Cs. I can't remember exactly what the contract was. And I had like a $54 average. They went as high as 82, if I remember right. And so that was still a profitable trade. Not the most profitable, but still, NVDA earnings. It was a chop fest, and I'm surprised that trade was even profitable in the first place. So we're able to get that, I think it was like a 20, 30% gain. No, nothing crazy, but also not terribly bad. So that's what I'm seeing there on SPY. Let's go look at QQQ and IWM really quick. I know people are interested in that. QQQ looks pretty good, honestly. I think we're going to tap this imbalance maybe at some point in time today and then kind of reverse up. Whether that happens in the first 5 minutes, I have no idea, but you also have your classic head and shoulder pattern here. So we'll see what we're going to get. It probably does do a bear trap around here, maybe fills that imbalance and goes up. But I'm optimistic that it taps a lower level of liquidity and then goes higher. I don't know if we're going to get a drastic move up in the first 15 minutes. So that's really where I'm watching that. IWM, let's go see. It's just consolidating. I don't know if you can actually play this. You might have to straddle here a little bit. Yesterday had a nice move down. This imbalance got filled. This imbalance got filled. We're now testing the waters here on the 50% zone. And then we'll see if this imbalance needs to do anything. But I'm optimistic that IWM here just tries to fly towards 264, 267 maybe. So those might be good calls to get at some point in time. Whether you do that in the first 15 minutes or not, up to you. But the market will open in 5 minutes here. I do like how gold is shaping up personally. So if you look at the gold chart, you're accumulating here on the 474 area. It's been like a double, triple bottom at this point in time. So I do think we're going towards 481 by tomorrow. So I might actually get the 481 calls as lotto by the end of the day. And so we've filled all the imbalances, filled this imbalance, filled all the imbalances here. I think it's more likely that we would tag 481 versus going down towards 466 because this level has been held now for the last day. Silver, I'm optimistically bullish. We already have 96 calls for the end of March. I think they were up like 20, 30%. At one point, they were up 50%. I think that was yesterday. But I want to see what happens here. This is like a nice basing round. So maybe we do move on some news, whether that's Iran or whatever it may be. But this is setting up as a nice, like, let's see, 1, 2, 3 triple bottom here. And it's rare to get those. So I do think it does something like this, consolidates and then rips up towards the 80, 83, 85, 86 levels. So that's what I'm seeing there. There's your bear trap on SPY, just as I was kind of saying, like you're rejecting that 50% zone, coming back towards that 50% imbalance here. And let's see if that holds so we can get cheaper calls. Tesla, not much to do. I actually drew this a couple months ago. So if I look at the Tesla chart, I literally drew this back in, I think it was January or December. Yeah. I was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to come up here to this midpoint, come down here. And this is where I'm going to start scaling into end of year 500 calls and 600 calls. They are expensive. I don't think it's for everyone, but if you are interested in Tesla long term, it's a good time to be averaging into those 600, 500 calls. And this is a nice spacing round. You're making higher highs, higher lows. So I do like how this is shaping up. So for 420 calls for tomorrow, maybe we tag 431 by Friday as well, but I have no idea. And yes, we are getting an inside bar here. This is like the same imbalance. You're tapping the 50% zone. And do you go up or do you go down towards this imbalance and retest that? No idea. I have no clue what we're going to get, but I am personally leaning towards the upside myself. And same thing with George. He's bullish. He was saying, hey, I want to get calls literally at open. I think he might be right just early. The usual for George. And NVDA, there's your nuke. This happens every single time. It just sells off after earnings. Do you want to chase it? Do you want to add into commons? You could do that here. I think it's a pretty good price. Nothing has happened since yesterday. If I look at the chart, you're basically where you started yesterday. Like I don't know why people have been swinging calls and puts here. So that's why I didn't do anything on NVIDIA yesterday. I'm like, you're going to come back to this exact same level and exactly where we are. And they're going to be cheaper today. The puts and the calls will be cheaper today than they were yesterday because of earnings. So if you took puts or calls and made money, congrats. I just did nothing because it's not worth playing half the time. Any questions I can answer before we move on and see how opening goes? I think the streams are fine on YouTube and X. At least that's how I'm seeing it. But someone tell me if they're not working. No, they're live. Okay. They're just delayed by like a minute or two. I can't control that. And I want to control that because y'all are paying for this. All right. Market's going to open in a minute here. I got the 5-minute chart open. We already went through QQQ and IWM. So if you are comfortable scalping puts, you could probably do that. But I want to wait and get a really good entry here on the 692.50 area for 695 calls. And I know we were not going to get filled on puts anyway, so why bother? All right, let's open up this pie chart. Do we trust the process again today? I think we should. I'm going to get these 695 calls, and I'm going to get, how much do I want to risk? I want to risk, I said $800. Do I feel comfortable with that? Yeah, probably. Okay, I'm going to get, this is going to sound insane to everyone. I'm going to get 6 of these at $534 here, US. I'm going to see if I can get them at 80. And let's go see what happens. Oh, I got filled. Shit. We're up 8%. Opened position. 13%. Wow. Wow. You open calls as well. Whoa. And the 695 calls at $80 each. And George opened calls at the same time. That is sheer luck and coincidence, I would say. What the fuck? They went up as high as 20%, but again, I'm gonna hold these for 100% minimum or maybe 0. I don't have a stop loss here. You do what you're comfortable with. I started with $100 on Monday. I'm at 1776 right now. So I made way more than the $100 that I started with. So I'm happy with the losses here if they do come. I don't think they will. I'm gonna trust that I'm gonna get 100% here as well. If someone got a discount, you're still up. Feel free to start trimming at 15, 20, 30%, whatever you want. I got 6 contracts here. Told you what the entry point I wanted, what I felt comfortable risking, and what I'm seeing here towards the upside. We are becoming net buyers on this bottom imbalance, right exactly where I drew that line. And now you're going to set up higher highs and higher lows. This is your bear trap. Let's see if I'm right. We're going to be right 9 out of 10 times. George's open calls as well. That's an extra layer of confidence. And let's see. Yeah, I started with $100 just on my stream plays. I did this for Egg specifically. And I was like, Egg, we're going to see if we can turn $100 into $300 in a day. And we did. Not doing anything. If it comes into like $70, I'll take a discount and add to it. But I already got 6 contracts here, so I'm not sweating it. 0 emotions in trading. I've trust my process. If we're wrong 2 days in a row unopened, totally fine. But yesterday was not a total loss, so who knows? Oh yeah, Easy gets to call me out because we dumped after NVIDIA ZR. That's right. I forgot about that bet that we had going on. I mean, we knew that was going to happen. Let's go see what Easy was saying on the chat here. We knew that was going to happen anyways, so it's fine. You can tweet at me. I don't know why I catch the strays all the time, but it is what it is. I would laugh if George gets stopped out. That'd be the funniest thing. He's right, but early. And let me open this up so we can see the side by side. Move this to the left. Do we have any institutional volume coming in? They're buying. They're slowly buying. some sells, not a whole lot, but some. Oh, we're entering the pen zone. Okay, I see how this goes. Okay, I want to add one more if I get a 20% discount. I don't know if I will, though. I don't know if I will get a discount. Yeah, Judy's right, early is wrong, but, you know, we're doing the best we can here. Okay, if I get a 20% discount, I can add like 2 or 3 more and be happy with the drawdown. I don't think I will get a 20% though, to be honest. I just want to see the first 5-minute candle. He's saying triple confluence that you're going to get a reversal on the bear side. But again, I think this is just temporary. This is that sweep to go higher. So I'm optimistic that we hit the higher highs, higher lows. Yeah, premiums aren't dropping much. That should make you suspicious. I think some people got a 75, 77 entry there. If you're up by 10, 20%, just take the win, honestly. But I'm going to hold for 100% or 0 on this one. Yeah, everyone's buying puts. That's why the premiums were huge. If I look at the puts here, 690 puts are like $150, 690 are 123. Because everyone and their mother has swung puts for some reason. That's why calls are cheaper. Okay, this is the same pattern that we saw a couple of days ago, where like the first 5 minutes it just did the reverse. This is your bottoming formation, right? You've undercut this imbalance. You should now start going up towards the upside at 695.47. If anyone's green on those calls, just take the win. This is your decision point at 692. Do we buy puts here and kind of go down towards the 690 area? Or does it hold here, undercuts and goes up? No idea. But whoever took those discounts, take the win. I'm optimistic towards the upside still. I think we're going to get it. Just might take some time. Danny's IWM is up 35%. Great. Premiums are still not dropping. We'll see how that goes. George got in the money calls, huh? That's interesting. Oh, they're not in the money anymore. Nice. Good job, Princess. Do we see any institutional buy-in? No, nothing. No events after 9:32. These are small sells, like 28,000, 28K shares, 47K contracts on the 615 calls. They sold them, that's fine. 17,000 shares on commons, or sorry, that's a 615 strike. All right, I think it's going to go up. It's just going to take some time. Totally fine. Call premiums are increasing. Have not closed on the 5 minute below this level, so let's see where we're going to get. And again, if you're green on any of these trades, just take the win and move on. I'm optimistic we're going to get 100% here. What didn't age well? Oh, yes, CRM. Let's see what CRM is doing. There's your IWM gain, Tesla nuke, as we thought. Silver's holding. NVDA is going to hold and probably go up. Let's look at CRM. Let's see what that's doing. Oh, it's making a nice U formation. Let's see. This might be a short squeeze pattern that's forming here. Make a U and go up towards 208, 210. Maybe software has found the bottom. I have no idea. I don't want to play this. Let's go see what the contracts are like. CRM weeklies. Ooh, $400 for the 195 strike. $240 for the 200. A lot of open interest on this one. Oddly enough, 205Cs. Might be worth lottoing those at $100. I'm gonna wait till the end of the day though. And will I be able to add? Do I get a 70% discount or not? I have no idea. But we're gonna just do. Nope, still down 10%. I do think it's gonna go up though. Just give it some time. Don't want to buy puts. It's not worth the risk and reward. I can tell a lot of you are sweating. It's like, oh, I'm down 10% on this contract. Totally fine. It happens. We're not closing below the 692 area, so I do think it's going to go up. Yeah, it's calls time now. Okay, what's physics saying? Fair value gap, yeah, that's been filled. Resistance, okay, we'll see. We'll see what we get. Even George has kept it open, huh? Or did he get stopped out? Let's see. Ooh, oh shit, someone's buying puts today. Oh no, they sold puts, never mind. That's bullish. Yeah, they sold puts, all right. They made 35% there. It's actually not much, to be honest. Okay, you have an inside bar on IWM. I don't know what's going to do. Is it going to go up or nuke down? No clue. Had nice losses yesterday. I'm actually pretty excited for that. The more he loses, the better it is for me, because then I can train him to become better. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. Experimental notifications, bearish on RUT, which makes sense because you have your inside bar here. Okay, we're now starting to close below this. I don't want to buy puts, honestly. I don't think it's worth it. You're going to come back to this bottom area. So let me open up this chart. This is your zone that we've ended up bouncing from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe a 6th time now. So I don't want to buy puts, honestly. If we get on our chop fest today, I'm going to be pretty cheesed. But I'm going to trust the process. Okay, I got a discount here. I'm going to get 2 more at 56 if I can get it. And I will buy 2 of those, call it a day. And I'll have a total of 10 contracts. Or sorry, 8 contracts. Wow, IWM is a standstill. Nothing's happening there. Look at that. Has not moved. What is happening here? Let's go to the 5-minute. Oh, you're getting like multiple inside bars. All right, I see the play here. I think on IWM. Go up, consolidate here, go up, consolidate here, go up, consolidate here, go up. I think it's going to set higher highs and higher lows, but we'll see. Okay, you're bottoming out here. We're going to see where we get. I really don't want to close these. I don't want to buy puts. Are they going to nuke me out here? Take my liquidity and come back later in the day? They might. Okay, there's your undercut again. 3 times in a row today. Wow. All right, what's Meta doing? Anything interesting? Oh, wow. That is gone. That is crazy. Although, doesn't this look like a sweep for lower? Like it's the same rejection spot. Oh, man. I'm going to have to straddle a put here, aren't I? Shit. All right. Let's do this. Buy puts. Puts are so expensive. Jesus. 685. I'm just going to get 2 of these. Then we'll see where we get. All right. That's more of a hedge. I'm going to let that go to 0 if it goes to 0. That's totally fine. I don't think we're going to come down to 686 or 690, to be honest. So above 690, I think the calls are fine. And Meta's gone. Silver's basing. Tesla, I don't want to do anything until the end of the day. We'll see where that goes. George got stepped out. Now we rocket. That's exactly how it works. And let's see what he did. Actually, not a bad exit at 28%. Okay. And now we got the 9:45 a.m. candle. Let's see what we get. See, the put premiums are dropping. That's what makes me suspicious. If I look at the puts here, I got the 685 as a hedge at 49. Like they're dropping in price. We didn't buy calls at the top egg. We bought them at a level we thought was interesting enough for us to take. IWM, higher highs, higher lows. These are moving in lockstep. I'm actually pretty impressed. Oh yeah, I think Hawkeye got Circle Commons. They were like on a steep discount like last week. For the last 2 weeks, we've been averaging into them from $60, and they're up at 88 now. That's crazy. Here's your 9:45. Now I can go to the 15 minutes. We're basing. Let's see where we get. Closed position. Yeah, we know you closed for a loss. It's totally fine. Wow, are they going to chop us out again? Because even the puts are down. We're going to wait. Just have patience, have trust. Call premiums are increasing. That should be a good sign. Yeah, I got these UNH calls, I think last week, 2 weeks ago, for the end of March. They're up quite a bit. I've got those 295 calls for the end of March, like around here, and they're up nicely. So happy with the gains there, but I really like trading SPY. I wonder what they're up. Let me just check. Those are on my main account. Give me a sec. I think I posted them here. UNH. Okay, these UNH 327, 310Cs, they're at, I want to check here because I don't want to open my phone for my main account. We got them at 191, 310Cs. They're at $415. Damn, that's a pretty good gain. Oh, let me just reply. Going to scale out, setting limit sells for 400 per con, will be out 4 out of 8. Wow, I'm glad those UNH calls printed. That's almost a 400% gain there. Yeah, I think you might be right on getting puts for weeklies, Judy. It's rejecting up here. Let's see how much it cost. 189. If it's worth the risk, take it. A lot of open interest on the 285 puts. Those are better risk and reward if you want to get them at $70. Let's see. The calls are looking good at 300 as well. I do think it flies, honestly. I think you're going to break out whether today or tomorrow. I have no idea. You can hedge with the puts, but I'm leaning towards upside on UNH. All right, let's go back to SPY. No movement. Hey, if you want a stop loss, take the stop loss. I'm going to hold them. I trust the process. And the reason for that is the puts are only up 5%. I don't even know if risking $100 here was the right call because we made $5 there. And the put premiums are dropping, as you can see. Oh, we also got Iran at 12, I believe. So it might just chop until 12, I just realized. See, the put premiums dropped. I took the play for the team. I don't think we get down, honestly. I think we go up. Here, let's redraw this. Double tap. Go up. Double tap. Go up. That's a target, honestly. See how the put premiums nuked there by like 10%? So I was saying not to get puts. It's not worth the risk. But I did it to show you guys that it's not worth the risk. Is Timmy here? Timmy, what are your thoughts here on what physics is saying? They've sold these puts, or sorry, they sold these puts, calls, sorry. Oh, Timmy's in a meeting, never mind. It's double timing here. A lot of pen zones, huh? Penning on Mara, penning on Coin, penning on ASTS. This is a negative. Oh. Hold on, I gotta see something. Yes. Yeah, there's your breakout in UNH. That's what I was expecting. Okay. This looks pretty interesting for puts tomorrow, or maybe calls. Coming to that same level roughly. It probably goes down towards the 81, 80 area. I already know these puts are going to be cooked. Just so everyone knows, I'm dead positive these puts are going to get cooked. But I took them just to show you that it's not worth the risk at that point in time. And I want to see what Google's doing out of curiosity. It's a lot of accumulation here too. Like going up, going down, going up, going down. This is your double bottom right here. And I want to get calls on this soon. Let me just see what they're worth. 3/10. These are pretty cheap for tomorrow. I might get those. I won't wait till the end of the day. SPY. Let's see what we're going to get. Still holding. Let's draw a little rectangle. This is your opening bar. Still holding. Until it breaks below, I don't want to do anything else. Let's go look at the Amazon chart. Who's messaging me? Stop. Amazon. Yeah, there's people in the lounge. I get it. One sec. What did Judy say? Yeah, Amazon does not look healthy. Look at that. Oh, you can also see a case here where you might double bottom, like around this area. And then here's your rejection zone up there. I don't know if it's worth playing. You're stuck in a $2 range here, like between 208 and 209, 208 and 210. Yeah, I'm on the 15 as well on Amazon. I just see it as a double bottom here. This is gonna be another one of those days where it just holds here and we don't do anything for like the next hour, because that'll be annoying. We did see AVG puts come in. Hold on, I gotta beat someone. I just realized it's gonna be sick. Hold on. Let me find them. AVGO. Was it an alerts or was it an analysis? I can't remember. Maybe it's on the analysis page. Maybe not. Maybe they were left from last week. But I do remember seeing AVGO puts come in. All right, we'll see what we got here. Yeah, let's look at hourly on Amazon, 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour is sus duty, but I don't want to play this here. The only reason for that is like you're consolidating, right? But you are setting up higher highs and higher lows, so I don't know if it's worth buying puts, to be honest. Like you got your cup here, you got your handle. It probably breaks out soon, honestly. Yeah. I think calls look good on Amazon if you want to play them. I just think it moves slow, so I don't want to get them for Friday. So I might give it some more time. Let's go find the contract. Amazon. The one I like personally is the March 9th 220 calls or the March 27th 230 calls. But you do what you want there. These have decent volume and open interest, so it look pretty good. Okay, still holding. I got those puts as a hedge. I think that's going to be dead. Those puts are down. We're down 50% on these calls. Totally fine. I do think it comes back. Just give it some time. And we'll see where we're going to get. And I want to see if I want to add more so I can get to 10 contracts, which is what my usual strategy is. If I can get it at 35, that would be kind of ideal. And let's see if that filled. It probably does. Then I'll have 10 contracts. And I'm happy with that risk and reward. All right. I'm going to sell 5 of these when we get to break even, which is 66. So I want to see if I can sell them at 80, ideally. I'll sell 8 of them and I have 2 free runners. And I will keep that there just to place the order early so I don't forget. Because if I forget, it's game over. But yeah, Fighter, you're right. I like how it's holding the bottom there, but I don't know if we hold it or not. Well, while we wait for SPY to do something, let's go look at the Netflix chart. I mean, I don't know if you want to chase Netflix here, man. Honestly, this is at the risk of breakout. You can probably get some longs just if you want to do some lottos for tomorrow, but this is looking like it's going to break out any minute now. And here's your bottom there, and here's your bottom here. 86 is probably your next target. Let's go see what the target is there. I think you're going to get towards 86.99 exactly. Okay. Are these calls cooked or not? Let's go find out. Oh, Shardy B's in. That's fine. But we'll see. I know people are sweating. It's fine. It happens. I do think it comes back. It just takes some time. IGV, that's your text software play. Whoa, whoa, what is happening there? Has tech found a bottom? Okay, well, I mean, if IGV is leading, honestly, it's just a matter of time until it comes to SPY, so just give it some time. I don't see the reason for panicking, to be honest. Wow, they're just going to chop us out, aren't they? Damn, why would they do that again? 2 days in a row.
And still working on that sign.
All right, who's talking?
Oh.
Is that you, Timmy?
Mm.
Yeah, but like even the puts are dropping in price, egg. Like you got to pay attention to what's happening on both sides, right? Like I got those puts and calls. Timmy is here. He's just on our call right now for his work. But like the puts have dropped in price. The calls are holding at least for the most part. Or sorry, the calls are holding at least for the most part. So we'll see where we're going to get. Okay, these puts are up now. It's like 25, 30%. I'm just going to take the win and call it a day. Sell one at 60. What did I get them at? 27.49. So I'll just sell them at 65. I don't actually think it's going to fail. Oh, dude, the put premium just dropped. Yeah, this is going to be a dead one. Okay, sell one at 60 if I can get it. Give me a sec. Recuperate that. And I want to sell one. I don't think it'll hit, but I want to sell one at 120. 1.20. Okay. That's why I hate straddling, because like even the put premiums are dropping now. They went up briefly, but now they're dropping. And I might as well sell the last one for a small gain while I'm here. Give me a sec. Sell one at 50. Recuperate something there. Great. Now I don't have any more puts. And let's go see what the call premiums are doing. Starting to increase like that. Meanwhile, I'm just going to draw a level here at 690.53 because that's where we bounced off yesterday quite a bit. And let me just add text. Reversal zone likely. One thing you could also do is roll these calls to tomorrow if you want. Yeah, Musa said the same thing. Nice. And you can roll them probably for an extra, what is it? 140 bucks. I'm just gonna hold them. I think it goes up. I'm just gonna wait. Oh yeah, he has a cash account. You can't roll. I mean, so do I, but I'm not using margin here. But it lets me roll. Okay, I'm getting rid of this. I'm just gonna watch this. I'm gonna make this a different color so I can see it. Let's make it this color. And I'll make this bigger so we can all see that. I'll change the text. And let's make this a different color as well. Got another echo. Who's that? All right, we're gonna mute that one. And do this here. Then do this here. Okay. I think we're about to reverse up. I like the memes. They're fun. Now I'm just wondering if we undercut these guys here and rip up, or do we go below towards this gap that's left? I have no idea. I'm more optimistic on the upside, just based on where this is holding. Hold on, I'll show you guys something. So Mickey asked a good question, why I'm buying calls or optimistic on the calls rather than buying puts. Okay. So IGV is holding. This is your software names, right? You're creating higher highs, higher lows now, right? Higher highs, higher lows. And you're now consolidating towards this upside target. I think I had like 86 target for like 2 weeks now. I don't think we ever got there, but that's really where I'm watching for. So we have that. We also have a bit more defensive names in the S&P 500 versus QQQ. So if I look at the QQQ chart, which is predominantly tech, that's what I was saying this morning. I think you go attack this imbalance, and that's exactly what we got. And then reverse up maybe, undercut and reverse up. That's pretty likely. And because NVDA is a lot of the QQQ, and this is your head and shoulder pattern, you know, this is where you're going to bottom out eventually, or maybe undercut and rip up. But we have a bit more defensive names in the S&P 500. That's why it's holding better than the QQQs are right now, right? So that's where my mind went. It's like, okay, you have more defensive names. You're going to undercut and rip. And again, the risk and reward is really what I was after, right? So we've swept the previous day lows at this point in time. We've swept the previous like post-market lows, pre-market lows. I'm more leaning towards calls because that's where the risk and reward is. It doesn't matter if we end up sweeping and going up afterwards. Like I know the risk and reward for me personally and the way that I trade. And same thing with George. He ended up getting those calls and got stopped out of those. Probably the right call. He took that 30% loss and was okay with it. But I think the risk and reward of the calls are better at this point in time because we have this imbalance. Software is holding, IGV is holding, and you have a bit more defensive names in this S&P 500 versus the QQQ. So that's why I'm leaning towards calls personally. And now it could take all day. I have no idea. Like yesterday, we were stuck within the orb for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, right? So we got stuck here from 9:30 till 11:30, basically. And then we started breaking out. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I did get puts as hedges, and I honestly don't think they're going to work either. If I look at the 685 puts that I got them at $60, they're down to 44 here. So I don't want to get them either because they're red at this point in time as well. And so we might just be pinned. We might just be pinned again for 2 days in a row within this range until one side either wins or breaks out or goes below and closes below the 690 area, right? And then I'll either double down on the puts or decide what to do afterwards. But for the time being, I'm just seeing this as like a basing scenario where we're just going to base around here, undercut the 690 folks, and then go up. But that's really where my mind is leaning. That's why I'm optimistic on the calls rather than getting the puts here at the end of the day. But I also want to preserve some buying power for ticker liquor. We're going to get those at 3 p.m. today. So if I go to the swings page, we're going to see ticker liquors being populated at the bottom at 3 p.m. So I'm just waiting for that, and I'm going to preserve as much of my buying power as possible. I'm still green on the week, so that's where my mind goes. Like, okay, risk is better towards the upside. The reward is better towards the upside, and the put premiums are dropping. So I don't know why I would be buying puts in the first place. And yeah, we've had no pump so far, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen in the next like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever it may be. We will wait, and I gotta send a message. Give me a sec. I already explained that. I have to do it again. Okay. And they're still selling the calls, 100,000 of those. That is actually pretty bearish on SPY. Honestly, I think we might be pinned. We're entering the pin zone here across the board. QQQ, IWM, SPX. I don't think anything's going to happen for a little bit. Volume is better today than it was yesterday. We were at like 8 million bucks on the gamma side. All right, I'm going to keep these calls. Fuck it. They're going to zero. If they go to zero, that's totally fine. Oh, what the hell? This just started buying now. Oh, this happens every single time. 10:15. I should have waited till 10. I don't know what I was doing there. All right, I'm going to hold these calls. If they end up becoming green, I'll report back, but I'm just going to hold them to zero. I'm at 500 bucks compared to the 2,000 I made. Still up 1,600 on the week, which is pretty nice. And the puts ended up selling for basically break even. I think I got them at 45 or 46 or whatever it was, 60. And then I ended up selling one for a small gain. And then the other one I'm holding still. So that's where we're going to end up. I'll report back if we get the calls back. If not, then, oh well. I'm actually rolled them to tomorrow. Give me a sec. Give me a second. Let me just roll these to tomorrow. I'm going to roll 4 of them. Oh, what? Oh, right, because I set up a limit buy, or limit sell rather. Give me a sec. Cancel this. Roll to tomorrow. And I'm going to roll 4 of these for an extra 40 cents. And done. And I'll see if that fills. I don't think it will, but who knows? And all right, we got cooked 2 days in a row, but we made some of it back on the puts there. Let me just look at the put premiums again. 685. You're basically at break even on those puts. If you end up getting them at 60, you're at break even. You might have made $2 there, but I don't know if it's worth chasing the puts here either. So I'm just going to wait until ticker liquor, and we'll see where we end up. I do think it does reverse. I still don't know when, so it might take some time, but I'll report back if we do that. And let me just go into the paid chat or recaps. Just put that in there. 696 calls. Do we got 695 calls? Rolling to tomorrow for an extra 40 per con. We'll hold a couple for 0 DTE. 685p went from 60 average to 70. Sold 2 out of 2 was a hedge. Roughly down, what was it? 115 times 2, roughly down $400. Up 1448 on the week. I don't want to buy puts here either, but if you want, you can probably get the 680 puts for 20 bucks. And we'll get 2 of those, and we'll see where that ends up. All right. I'm just going to wait and see what happens for the rest of the day, but I can end the stream at least, put the recap in there just for full transparency. I don't want to buy anything until 3:30 p.m. roughly, and then we'll see where we end up. Yeah, both got a hold here. I think they will, honestly. It just might take some time. This is that same gap that's been filled now. So this is where I'm looking at, and we'll see if it goes up or not. But we'll try this again tomorrow. I think it's going to go up. I just don't know when. It might take some time. I'm hedging myself right now with 2 of these 680 puts, but I think they'll go to 0 anyways. But that's more of a hedge designed to go to 0, and I'm still holding these calls. I rolled most of them to tomorrow, or some of them to tomorrow rather. And I'm going to roll the rest of them at the end of the day if I can. All right. Chat soon, y'all.